Hey everybody, it's Matt, the Poke Knight, and I hope you enjoyed my last Pokemon challenge, one Snorunt and Pokemon Fire Red. It was really fun, and overall, not too difficult. Well, today, I'm doing a challenge with a Pokemon so weak that even its fully evolved form is trash. That's right, today, I'm going to be finding out if I can beat Pokemon Silver with only one Ledian. Ledian is a pitifully weak bug and flying Pokemon that has stats that range from pretty good to trash really quickly. With an amazing 110 special defense, a mediocre 85 speed, and then trash stats of 55 health and special attack, 50 defense, and a miserable 35 attack. Now you may be thinking, well, most of those stats are better than Snorunt's, this shouldn't be too bad. And normally, I'd agree with you, hypothetical viewer, except these are all the moves Ledion gets by TM and level up. If you didn't notice, apart from 5 special moves, every attacking move Ledion gets is coming off of its wretched 35 attack stat. And on top of that, Ledion gets no bug or flying moves whatsoever, so unless we get lucky on our hidden power type, we won't ever get the same type of attack bonus to give us a little more power. The only thing I can think of is using Attract and Double Team to get through tough battles. This is going to be rough. I'm writing this script as I go along with the challenge, so this is all being written before I started. Comment down below and let me know if you think I can do this and at what level we'll be at the end of the Pokemon League. Personally, I think we should be able to beat Lance with high levels, but the real trouble will be Whitney's Miltank. It has 4 times super effective rollout. Let's go over the rules. I can only use Ledion in battle. I can use other Pokemon for HMs, but I can't use them in battle. No items in battle, only held items and Pokeballs. No glitches or exploits, and no speeding up the game past 150%. I'm only speeding up that much because the emulator I'm using is pretty slow for the Gen 2 games. Let's do this. I jump into the world of Pokemon and go to pick my starter. I use the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Chikorita with Ledyba so we can do the full challenge. I name mine Sayatama because we'll be doing a lot of punching this game. I grind up on bugs for a while because Sayatama is so weak that a level 4 Pidgey beat her even with a berry. It takes 10 minutes to level up to level 8. We learned Supersonic, but I'm not looking forward to the insane grinds that I'm sure will be needed throughout this run. Next, we have our rival fight with Time, who is my true rival in this challenge. And we have the worst time ever. I tried to confuse him with Supersonic, but I misclicked Tackle, which did almost nothing. Then missed 2 Supersonics in a row before I hit one, and he did hit himself once, but since he leered, he did 5 damage a hit, and we went down fast. This is going to be extremely hard. Flying Gym time, that is, it would be, but I couldn't even get past the second trainer because his Pidgey's gusts. So I spent another hour leveling to level 15 before giving them another shot and narrowly beating him. Yes, it took a whole hour to level up a level 10 Pokemon to level 15. Ledyba is just that weak. Now it's time for Flying Gym, and Pidgey goes down in a few Comet Punches, and next is Pidgeotto. I Supersonic to try and stall a few turns, though he breaks through turn 1 and hits Gust. Luckily, he hits himself twice in a row, so 2 Comet Punches win us the badge. That may sound easy, but the grind was awful. At least it wasn't as bad as some other grinds other YouTubers have had to do. There are plenty of trainers on the way to Azalea Town, so I battle them all to get some levels before the Bugsy fight, which I'm sure will be brutal. I realized I forgot to do Bellsprout Tower, though, so I went in there and mopped the floor with them. While fighting the second to last monk, Sayatama hits level 18 and evolves into Ledion, giving us a small boost in our stats, which should be enough for Bugsy. Union Cave was painfully slow, as we did so little damage to the Geodudes that were 15 levels below Ledion, that they managed to deal a lot of damage and took so much time to beat them. Not pleasant. Slowpoke Well was pretty easy, and though the Rocket admin took a few tries, it all went smoothly. Bugsy was another easy fight. We Comet punched down his Metapod, and next was Scyther, who couldn't seem to decide whether to use a Quick Attack or a Fury Cutter, so it never built up strength, so a couple of Comet Punches took him down as well. Last is Kakuna, who tried to Poison Sting us, but we Comet punched it down. You may have noticed I haven't been doing blow-by-blow recaps of the battle. Well, the problem is that right now Ledian is so weak that battles tend to take a while. That should be fixed soon, though. As I try to leave Azalea down, I encounter the toughest fight in the game so far. Times Ghastly. Ledion only got normal type moves from level up, so we couldn't hit the Ghastly. I tried using Supersonic to get him to hit himself, but on the few attempts he went down, Quilava just finished us off with Ember. So I spent 10 minutes in Union Cave wasting power points so I could use Struggle, which can hit ghosts. 10 more minutes later, and I managed to get past all 3 of his Pokemon, albeit only surviving on 1 HP. Yikes. Once I arrive in Goldenrod City, I immediately run to the department building and buy the TMs for Ice Punch and Thunder Punch. These are going to be the strongest moves we'll have for the entire run. In Generation 2, these moves are special, so they come off of our superior special attack. I can't say that with a straight face. Now I face my greatest nightmare, Whitney's Miltank. And the battle goes pretty smoothly. Sure, it took a few tries, but I have a decent strategy. First is Clefairy, and 2 Ice Punches take it to a sliver, while it double slaps does hit us for a total of 9 times, hitting 4 times the first turn and 5 times the second. But instead of taking it out immediately, I use Reflect first, having all physical attacks damaged at me for 5 turns, while Clefairy's double slap hits me for 6 damage. I take it out next turn with an Ice Punch. Next is Miltank, so I use Supersonic, which hits for once, which is good, and it hits itself, doing a small chunk of damage. It does use Milk Drink, negating the damage I did with Ice Punch that turn. However, my next Ice Punch takes it to half as it hits itself again. My next Ice Punch takes it to a sliver as it does a small chunk with Rollout, but I live with plenty of health and take it out with 1 more Ice Punch for an easy-ish gym. Next is Morty, and on the whole, it was pretty easy. Sure, we had to reset a couple of times, but once I got a run where Hypnosis didn't hit, I was able to muscle my way through with Ice Punch. After a couple trips over the ocean, because I forgot the Strength HM, I arrive at Chuck's Fighting type gym, and the fight lasts all of 30 seconds as I easily sweep through with Thunder Punch. Chuck has 2 Pokemon and is never a real threat. In fact, I had more trouble with a Machoke earlier on than the gym that had Rock Slide. After surfing yet again back to Olivine, I give Amphi the medicine and head to the Steel Gym. Jasmine's gym was incredibly difficult. Her Magnemites have Thunder Wave and Thunderbolt, and both will ruin me if they hit too much, and it takes 3 hits to take them down. After 10 minutes of attempts, I finally get a run that goes my way. The first Magnemite paralyzes us after our Ice Punch hits for solid damage, but thanks to our berry, the effect is gone. The next hit brings it down to a third as it hits a Supersonic. Luckily, we finished our next turn without hitting ourselves. And next out is another Magnemite, and our Ice Punch actually freezes it, allowing us to safely dispatch it. I use Attract on Steelix as it comes out, and it's immobilized 2 turns in a row, and thanks to a crit on Ice Punch, that's all we need to take it out. After a hike to the Lake of Rage, I committed an extremely villainous act. I killed a shiny Pokemon. Anyway, after kicking a group of angry adults out of their parents' basements, I take on Price. It was an easy fight. Seal was one-shotted by Thunder Punch, Dugong hardly hurt us, as 2 Thunder Punches take it out, and Piloswine goes down to a barrage of Ice Punches while barely hurting us in return. Seriously, it's a sad day when a stab super effective Blizzard barely does 20 damage. After kicking out Team Rocket from the radio tower, I meet up with Time in the underground for another battle. Golbat is out first, and Ice Punch one-shots him. Next is Magnemite, who paralyzes us and hits us with Sonic Boom before we take it out. Next is Quilava, and Flame Wheel hits hard, but we hit harder and take it out. Haunter is a one-shot thanks to a critical Ice Punch, and it just used Mean Luck, so when Sneasel comes out, we're at a high enough health where we can tank some quick attacks and muscle through with Thunder Punch. After a slippery trip through Ice Cave, it's time to battle Claire. And as you'd imagine, with Ice Punch and Kingdra is a 3-shot, so easy win. In fact, Claire is so embarrassed that she lost to a Ledion, she made me go get her Dragon Fang she dropped in the Dragon's Den. Alright, give me a sec. After that errand, I head up to the Indigo Plateau, and it's time to battle Time for the last time. That name was such a mistake. Sneasel was a 2-shot with Thunder Punch as it misses Screech. Ice Punch Oko's Golbat, and 3 KOs Magneton as it hits a weak Thunder Shock and misses Thunder Wave. I use Attract on Typhlosion, and thanks to that, it only hits a single Flame Wheel as we take it down with Thunder Punches. Haunter gets OHKO'd by Thunder Punch, and last is Kadabra, who just fails Future Sights over and over, so we easily take it out. Let's take a look at our stats. Our speed and special defense are decent, but that special attack is just bad. Our moves are okay though, and I think we can do this. Last chance to guess if we can win at this level. Let's do this. Psychic Trainer Will is up first with Xatu, and it goes down with an Ice Punch. Next is Jinx, who puts us to sleep with Lovely Kiss, and then absolutely hammers us with Ice Punches, and it easily could have knocked us out. But for whatever reason, it chose to use Double Slap, which did nothing, even with hitting 5 times. Because of that, we were able to wake up and sweep the rest of his team till Slowbro, who used Amnesia and Curse, became pretty bulky, but not once hitting us, so we took it out with a Thunder Punch or 2. Next is the former gym leader, Poison Master Koga. He leads off with Ariados, who gets hit hard with Ice Punch, uses Double Team to dodge my next hit, and does exactly 1 damage with Giga Drain before falling to a follow-up Ice Punch. Next is Crobat, who is a one-shot with Ice Punch, and Venomoth, who takes massive damage from Ice Punch, hitting us with Toxic before we finish it off. I probably should have held the Poison Cure Berry. Fortresses are out next, and after stalling a turn with Protect, it gets taken down by 2 Thunder Punches, although not without us getting hurt a lot by Swift and Toxic. Last is Muck, and Ice Punch does a little under half as it uses Minimize. But not only do I hit Muck through the Minimize, but I got a crit, boosting Ice Punch enough to finish it off. 2 down, 3 to go. I heal up Ledian with a full restore and Ether before continuing. Next is the fighting type trainer Bruno, and this takes a couple tries. Hitmontop goes down in a couple of punches without doing much damage, and Onyx is a damage. Unbelievably, our follow-up Ice Punches also freeze, and with that look, we smash through Machamp with some more Ice Punches. Last is Hitmonlee, and we immediately use Attract, only to get rejected and kicked twice in the face before he realized the error of his ways and stopped, only for Ledian to crush him with 2 successive Ice Punches, winning us the fight. Props to Saitama, the cold-blooded Heartbreaker. Last of the Elite 4 is Karen, who leads with Umbreon, and I know from previous attempts that it can seriously mess me up with Sand Attack, so I use Attract as it thankfully misses its Sand Attack and gets immobilized 2 turns in a row, so Ledian can pummel it down with Ice Punch. Next is Houndoom, and I can't use Attract, so I risk a Supersonic, and for what feels like the first time this run, it actually hits. Houndoom is likewise stunned, so much so that it hits itself in the face twice. Thanks to that, I am able to take it down in 2 Thunder Punches. Next is Gengar, who takes around half from an Ice Punch as it licks us, doing a little damage. We take him out next turn, but it would have been bad if he hit Curse. Murkrow is a one-shot with Thunder Punch, and last is Vileplume, who gets hit hard with Ice Punch, nearly going down, and it misses its Stun Spore, so another hit finishes her. All that's standing between me and being done with this run is the champion of the Indigo Plateau, Dragon Trainer Lance. This is the final battle, the culmination of my journey throughout the Johto region, and I freaking crushed him! Thunder Punch OHKO'd Gyarados, Ice Punch OHKO's Dragonites 1 and 2, Ice Punch crits Aerodactyl for a one-shot, Charizard gets paralyzed by Thunder Punch, but it hits us with a Flamethrower that does half our health, takes out Charizard, and last is Dragonite, who also gets one-shot with Ice Punch, winning us the battle and the entire challenge. That was a lot of fun, and I wish I could go all the way to Red, but I simply don't have time. These challenges take forever. If you're curious how I would do against Red, I'll throw some damage calculations on screen, but the gist is that even at level 100, Ice Punch would only do about 3 to 6% on Snorlax unboosted, and once he used his Amnesia, it'll basically be over. Overall, while this challenge wasn't easy by any means, it wasn't as awful as I thought. It's hard to believe that the most difficult battles were the rival fight in Azalea Town and the Steel Gym. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe and leave a like on the video if you want to see more content like this. And until next time, may your sword stay sharp. Peace.